Episode 123. So Allison presents Chelsea with a ring and demands a kiss, and Chelsea is trying her best not to kiss this crazy ass chick. I don't blame her. Next, Ted goes to Cray Cray's apartment with a proposition, and Cray Cray tells Ted that Bill just left there trying to intimidate her. So she threatens to turn Bill into the bar association, and Cray Cray tells Ted that she guesses he's there to talk to her about not buying the house across the street from the Duprees. And yeah, that's exactly why he's there. Next, Eva tells Tomas about Leslie buying the house across the street from the Duprees, and Eva tells him she asked Ted to talk to Cray Cray. So she tells Tomas she needs to bring in the reinforcements, and does he has time to talk. And Tomas tells her he doesn't have time to do anything because he's been filling in for Bill since Chelsea has went missing. Next, Jacob tells Kat he doesn't think Allison will do anything to hurt Chelsea. And Kat gets upset, saying that Allison is obsessed. So Madison walks in and says that she doesn't know if Chelsea is safe with Allison, especially since Allison hurt herself to lure Chelsea. And everybody's looking like, what? Like they didn't even know about that. So she surprised them with that. And yeah, that is crazy for somebody to hurt themselves just to lure somebody. But I mean, we are talking about crazy ass single black female, so. Next, Allison asks Chelsea for a kiss, and Chelsea hurriedly gives her a peck on the lips. So Allison starts quoting Shakespeare, and this chick is in love with poetry and things of that nature, and then you can just tell she's kind of stuck into that kind of stuff, like she's from another time period. She's always quoting the 17th 18th century type quotes and things of that nature. I guess she's a history buff and loves poetry as well. So she tells Chelsea she's happy, and the only thing better than being married is their wedding night, and basically consummating it. Crazy ass single black female tells Chelsea she wants tonight to be perfect, and Chelsea begins to cry, and I don't blame her, because this crazy ass Shakespeare reciting ass chick, so it'll be some type of 18th century hell that she's in. Next, Madison tells Kat and Jacob about Allison hurting herself to get to Chelsea, and if Allison can do that to herself, she's afraid for Chelsea. And yeah, that is crazy to physically hurt yourself, but folks do it all the time. And of course, these folks aren't sane. So I wonder what's Allison's story, and how did she become this insane? Like, is it genetics or is it trauma based? I'm like really curious. Next, Cray Cray tells Ted she should have known he sicked Bill on her, and Ted denies sending Bill. So Ted tells her he has a better house for her to live in, his house. And I'm like, what? What? I thought the house was Nicole's. So Ted is definitely up to something. And is he going to sacrifice himself so the Duprees aren't tormented by Cray Cray, especially Nicole? Ted tells Cray Cray Nicole is divorcing him, and Cray Cray starts doing the happy dance saying, yes, I knew it. And that don't mean he's getting with your crazy ass. So Ted tells her Nicole is angry, and he's afraid that Nicole is going to take him for half, including his house. And he tells her he doesn't want Nicole to get her hands on his house, so he's offering it to her. And if Cray Cray had any sense, she would know something is really fishy about that story. Next, Nicole tells Martin that she and Ted are getting a divorce, and Martin asks, can't she and Ted work it out? And he tells her he knows they still love each other. And then he asks her, is it about Leslie or is it about him? And I guess he's saying in regards to Ted giving Kenny plastic surgery and not telling Nicole. But I doubt it's probably a bevy of things, not just one. Next, Eva tells Tomas don't he belong at Kat's side? And that's the part I don't understand with him. He's so quick to tell Eva things are strained with him and Kat or any problems that he and Kat are going through. But when Kat needs him, that's the last thing on his mind. He'd rather run and be in front of Eva's face. Next, Kat tells Madison that she has a feeling that time is running out for Chelsea, and she says she's getting feelings about things now and then, and she guesses she gets it from her grandmother on Ted's side, who's deceased. And she tells Madison the feeling is really strong currently, and Madison tells Jacob there must be something they haven't thought of, and Jacob says there may be. Jacob goes back to Allison's diary, and there's an entrance where Allison says she and Chelsea will be just fine thanks to Nana's inheritance. So Jacob proposes, what if Allison inherited real estate from her Nana? So Jacob says Allison's parents are in Hawaii, but they didn't look into her grandmother's assets. So he's going to go and do that and see if he can find something. Next, single black female made the wedding cake, officiated the wedding. I'm surprised she didn't make her wedding dress. So Chelsea tries to convince her to let her cut the wedding cake. But single black female's like, nope, you tried it. So she feeds Chelsea some cake and tells Chelsea to feed her. So Chelsea shoves the cake in her mouth. Then she tells Chelsea they need to save some sugar for their lovemaking. And the delusions are real with this chick. And unfortunately for Chelsea, she got to deal with it. Next, Martin tells his mother he can't believe his parents are getting a divorce because of him. And Nicole assures him it's not his fault. So she says that she's upset at Ted, but it was too many secrets and bad decisions on Ted's part that led them to divorce. Next, Ted tells Cray Cray he wants to give her his house. And Leslie says, why does he want to give her his house? And Ted tells her if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have Eva, who he loves dearly. And he says if he gives the house to her, he can keep his family home in the family because she and Eva would be family. So he tells her once his divorce is finalized, he could move back into his home with her and Eva. And I got to give it to Ted. He's landing on thick. But I know there's some trickery embedded in that offer. I think he's trying to show Nicole that he can handle Cray Cray and keep her away from the Duprees and her. Next, Eva tells Tomas that Leslie is threatening to paint her house magenta so she could anger the Duprees. And Tomas tells her he can bring up some guidelines to give Leslie regarding homeowners association rights. You know that Cray Cray don't care anything about some rights and what's legal and any kind of policies because she's going to make her own. Next, Ted tells Cray Cray he wants to give his home to her and he can transfer the deed right now. So she tells him she'd rather live in the house across from the Duprees. And Ted tells her does she want to live in their home or his? And I think he got Cray Cray with that because she's clutching herself. And I'm surprised she doesn't fall out. I think she's going to take the offer because deep down inside, that's all she wants. She wants to be recognized by Ted and actually think that there could be a chance. That's why she was doing that happy dance when Ted told her that he was getting a divorce because she really thinks that there's a possibility that she could be the next Mrs. Richardson. Next, crazy ass Allison starts preaching to Chelsea about the importance of marriage and how important it is to consummate their marriage. Then she says, till death do us apart, and I'm sure Chelsea knows what that means. Next, Ted tells Eva that her mama won't be buying a house across the street from the Duprees anymore. Next, Cray Cray couldn't wait to get to Ted and Nicole's house to tell Nicole that Ted gave the home to her and that she's evicting her uppity ass. Next, Jacob tells Kat and Madison They hit the jackpot. Allison's grandmother owned a remote cabin in the woods that she left to Allison. He says the cabin is in Virginia, and of course, Black Nancy Drew wants to come, and now Madison too. Like they're a whole get-along gang. Next, Chelsea tells Allison she's never making love to her. She doesn't love her, and she asks her to let her go and find someone who do love her. And I don't think Chelsea should have done that, because crazy ass black single female grabs the raggedy ass knife out of the cake and tells Chelsea if she can't have her, no one can. And that ends the episode.